I'm gluten-free Gigi, and I'm living gluten, dairy, soy, and nut-free. I understand how difficult it can be to enjoy the foods you love on a special diet. That's why I'm making these videos, to show you how simple and affordable, healthy, allergy-free living can be. Come join me in the kitchen. Today we're making pork loin chops with blackberry apple chutney. We'll start with the chutney. It takes a little longer to make. I have a skillet over medium-high heat with 1 tablespoon of Earth Balance soy-free buttery spread. I'm going to add an onion. I've chopped half of a yellow onion. And we'll want to put the onion in and cook it for about 4 to 5 minutes, just until it starts to become tender. And then we'll add garlic and ginger to the mixture. So our onion has cooked about 4 to 5 minutes here, and it's starting to get golden and it's tender. So it's time to add our next 2 ingredients. We have 3 cloves of minced garlic. Put those in. And then I have 2 teaspoons of fresh ginger root that I've minced very finely. Put these in. We want to stir the whole time, about 2 minutes. You'll be able to tell when the garlic and ginger become aromatic. You'll smell those. You want to make sure you stir the entire time because garlic will burn quickly. And we're still over medium heat. Okay, we've cooked our garlic and our onions and ginger together for 2 more minutes. And now I have taken a 2-quart saucepan and put it over medium heat. And I want to take the onions and garlic and ginger and put these right into the saucepan. We'll add the remaining ingredients for our chutney. And we'll use the same skillet we cooked our onions in to sear our pork loin chops. So we'll just leave this, set this one to the side for just a minute. So what I've got here is 1/4 cup of an all-fruit blackberry spread. I have 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar. And I'm adding a 1/2 teaspoon of coarse sea salt, about 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, a 1/2 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, a little extra, I like them spicy, and I want about 1/4 teaspoon of ground sage. And give this a quick stir. And I have already peeled and sliced and cubed 3 large red delicious apples, and those will go right in here. And your jam will melt down with your balsamic. It'll caramelize a little bit with the apples, and you'll have a little spicy from the red pepper and from the sage, and you'll have lots of sweetness from the jam and from the apples. So just put your apples in, and we'll stir this, and we'll let it cook over a medium-low heat for about 15 or 20 minutes. You want the apples tender, but you do not want them to break apart. They need to be somewhat firm to the bite. And when we come back, we'll get our pork loin chops started and we'll get our dish ready to serve. So we've got our chutney moved back to our saucepan. We're letting it simmer. I have a smoking hot pan here with a tablespoon of olive oil in it. And this is for our pork loin chops. I've got boneless loin chops. You can tell mine are pretty thick. That's up to you. Taking some coarse sea salt, just sprinkle these. I'm going to sprinkle both sides. And be careful about your cross-contamination. I'm using tongs and keeping my hands clean. So we're ready to put these in this really hot pan. We're going to sear these. That's what you want to hear. Sear these for 2 to 4 minutes on each side. And then I'll show you the trick to tender pork chops. Okay, so take a look at the chutney. You hear my top sizzling over here in this piping hot pan. And we've got the chutney. It's been about 12 minutes. It's not quite ready. We've got about 8 more minutes to go for a total of 20, but it's just exactly how it should look, bubbling away, but not too hot, on medium-high heat. Okay, have a look at our chops. I've seared these a couple minutes on each side, maybe 2 to 4 minutes, depending on the type pan you're using and the heat that you're using. But you can see that they're nice and golden brown, and they're brown on the other side. So we'll leave them like this. Here's the secret to your tender chops. These are not cooked through if they're thick. I have a 1/2 cup of all-natural apple juice. I'm going to add this, reduce our heat to low, cover really quickly with a tight-fitting lid, and we're going to let these simmer for about 20 minutes. And we'll come back and we'll check on them. So the chutney's done. We've turned the heat off. You can leave it on the burner if you want to. The apples are nice and tender. You can see the spoon will press into them, but it won't cut them in half. And it gets a little thick with your balsamic and the juice from the apple and the blackberry jam. So we'll leave this. We'll wait on our chops to get done, and then we'll come back and put our dish together. Okay, our chops have simmered for about 20 minutes with the lid on with the apple juice, and now it's time to plate these up. They're nice and tender. And we'll top them with our blackberry apple chutney. If you want the chutney to be just a little thicker, you can take a potato masher or the back of a fork and you can mash a few of the apples and have it a little thicker. It's a little sweet, it's a little spicy. A fantastic autumn dish. Have a little chutney left over, you can serve some on the side if you love it like I do. And they're ready to enjoy.